Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and tonight we're going to work on a little sort of Lariat style necklace using the ribbon that came on our SoftFlex Design Challenge kit, Star-Crossed Lovers. So I'm also going to use some of the beads and some that I got in a gift. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. Got the ribbon. Excuse me. I've also got two closed silver rings from my stash, as well as a couple of spacers. I've also got some little grommets, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a bit. Then I've got, for each of, I'm going to put a little dangle on each leg, and those dangles are going to be with these beads. So each is going to have these. It's going to start, and then it's going to have the purple, the red, the white, and then this little black. And we're going to make a dangle using that to dangle from our closed ring. Now the closed ring is going to go on the bottom of our ribbon, and we're going to fold this over like so. It's going to go here. I'm going to put a dab of super glue in here, as well as I'm going to poke a hole in here and put this grommet through here. Now, before we do that though, we're going to put some beads onto the ribbon. Now, I watched Sarah when she did her unboxing. I watched her put the ribbon, these beads. Now, these beads are not from the kit. These were from a special prize that I won for one of something. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these on. Now, I watched her do this, so I know they'll go on here, but it's a little bit tough, and so you have to work them to go up here. You have to fold your ribbon in half and work them up onto here. Come on, baby. There it comes. She'll be out in just a minute where I can grab her. Now we're probably going to fray the ends of our ribbon a little bit as we do this, and you know, if that happens, that happens. See, it's fraying right now, but we will just trim it off. Ooh, frayed a little more than I expected it to right there. And that's why we're going to have to put some glue on the end. So we've got this first bead on, then we're going to put the silver spacer on. Again, we're going to have to fold it in half and push it through the hole. I'm getting all kinds of fray on my mat. I'll have to clean that later. We're going to push this through the hole here. Now, if we have to, with something like this one, because it's a lot thinner, we may have to like take some tweezers and grab the end rather than just squishing it through like I'm doing here. We'll see. Come on, baby. Just a little bit more. So, whoops. But if we do need to put tweezers, we will use some tweezers. Now I could put this bead at an angle, this thread at a piece of ribbon at an angle, but then of course I would still need to trim it off again. But we may do that. I'll show you what I mean. So we'll take this, and instead of just folding it in half, we're going to cut this at an angle like this, a sharp angle. And then because it's at that sharp angle, look at all this stuff on my table. You've got a point. You can push the point through first. Whoops. Grab the point as it comes through to the other side. I'm going to fold it anyway. on, you. Fold it. And then we're going to push this through our circle here. Well, come on, you. You're not that hard. Just a small hole. Should go right through, but it doesn't seem to want to. Come on. There it is, if I can get hold of it now. There we go. Now we'll pull this up onto here. So we've got now the star bead and the spacer, and we've frayed this out again. So you are going to lose quite a bit of your ribbon as you clean it up as it goes up here. But now the last one I want to put on is this little purpley star colored one. And now it's longer, but I think his hole might be just a bit bigger. I'm not sure. So let's see if we can get this one to go on a little easier, hopefully. And I find to make these go up, sometimes it's easier just to twist as you push them up. So we'll just push this up here like so. There we go, there it is. So now we'll push it up so it meets its buddies up here. Now again, you'll see it's all frayed out, and I want it even anyway, so we'll cut it across. And this side is ready to have its loop and grommet put on. So we'll put our loop on like so. Fold its end over. And it's going to go like this. But we're going to get a little bit of glue, and we're going to put it on here for two reasons. Number one, it helps hold it. And number two, it's going to try and fray. So if we have some glue right here at the end, it won't fray so easily. So we'll get a little super glue for this side and put it on. And I'm going to use Loctite. So we'll just get a little dab of glue. And I'm going to put it right here on the end where it's fraying mostly out. Got a little more than I wanted, but that's all right. Better too much than not enough. Well, sometimes, not always. So then we're going to just fold this guy over, get our ring down into where we're going to have our loop, though, because otherwise we're going to, oops, I don't want that like that. We're going to have it not in place. We want it in place, so bring it down here. And now we're going to bring our cloth over, and we're going to push it down here so they're together. And we're probably going to have to hold that for a little while, so until it sticks better. So we'll just hold it for a little while. And then we'll set it aside, and we're going to go to the other side. And I'm going to use this whole piece of ribbon. And again, I'm going to make a corner cut so that we can get these beads on easier. Now, I'm going to use the same beads. You could do them the opposite way if you wanted to have a little different. I don't, so I'm not going to, but you could. So I'm going to squish this in half, put our blue stars on. Come on, you don't give me flack. And as you can see, it's already trying to fray. And this ribbon is really beautiful, but it does fray quite a bit. And I am going to have to be careful of that as we work on it. So there's our blue star, and I can already tell it is got a slightly bigger hole than that one does, but that's fine. Now we want to get the little silver piece here on. And of course it's going to try and fight me again, just like the other side did. There we go. So not as bad as the other side, so there we go. And now we have our purple one here to put on. There we go, and it's on now. So there we have both sides done. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this side I did with that one, and we're going to cut this even across here. Put our little silver ring in. Flip it over. Put some glue right here on the end. I'm making sure I get it onto the end because I don't want it to fray anymore if I can help it. Then the glue will help us from fraying. Now push this ring back down here. And we're going to fold this one over just like we did the other. See how far up I put it, about right there. And then we'll glue this one in place. So now we're going to let it dry for a little while. And as those dry, we're going to get some wires out and we're going to string up these beads. A couple of ball head pins, silver ones, since that's what we're using. And we're going to take and put these on. You know, I didn't get any spacers, and I do want some spacers, so we will get out some silver daisy spacers here. I'll just put a little pile here. And we'll start daisy spacer, black, daisy spacer, white. Come on, baby, where's your hole? This cube is damaged. We're going to need to get a different one. So then this one, red bead, the purple one here, and the black. So it's going to have a little dangle like so that's going to dangle down from our ring here. So we'll I'm debating if I want to put another spacer on the top up here. I think we will. So I'll have to get a few more out, but that's all right. So then we're going to bend this baby over. And we'll, of course, wrap it up using our bell making plier. Since I'm going to jump ring this on, since I don't want to do this while it's still wet, I'm just going to wrap this up like I normally would. So we'll grab it, and then we'll wrap this up. Cut the excess wire and tuck it in. Now, she looks like she went a little sideways, so I'm gonna bring her back over here some. So there we go. There's one of our dangles done. I am going to, of course, have to get a new white cube out since this one is damaged. So luckily we do have some more in the box, or in the bag. Oh, come on, you guys. There we go. There's one little white cube. We'll put the rest of this back. And start putting this together here. We have a spacer, black, spacer, cube, spacer, red. Now we do need to get a couple more spacers, and I'm going to throw this away since it does have that chip out of the side of it, so that we don't accidentally use it for something. We want 2 more spacers. 1 and 2. That's 3. So get the spacer, the purple. Oh, I did need one more, didn't I? Spacer and the black. The spacers knew better than me that I needed another one. So we'll get one more out. And wrap this one up. So I'm going to hold these wires where they are crossing here, just above where they're crossing. Take my second pair of pliers and grab hold and just wrap this around. And we'll trim this off. And tuck this baby in. So there these 2 are. And those are going to be hanging off these silver loops that we have at the bottom here. Now, when I first started designing these, I was debating if I wanted to put a wire between these with some more beads between each side. And we could have done that, but I chose not to. But as I said, we still could if I wanted to. So the next thing we want to do is I want to take my leather punch. This is my leather punch, and I want to punch a hole into these, and I'm going to do it really close to the top, but not all the way at there. I want to see if I can get it in the middle too, and we'll just punch that through like so. Now I'm going to try and get approximately the same place on the other side. Looks good. So now I've got these 2 little holes here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little grommet and we're going to push it, well, if I can get it to do so, push it through the little hole that we just punched here. Come on, baby, you should go through. Doesn't want to go through. This is not well behaved. Okay, I may have to get my leather punch back out and punch again. That is on the largest hole, so it should have gone through all right. So, oops, just heard a snap. So, oh, I think I did a second hole in here. Dang it, that's not good. Because it moved and then got a second one. Now see, this hole is bigger. So hopefully with the suede it will disguise that second hole a little better. But let's hope that I can get my little grommet to go through here now. There we go. So there we go. That one's on. And then we'll put this one in. This hole actually looks a little bigger than the other one's hole, so hopefully it's not going to fight us at all. There we go. So as you can see, it's in about the same spot. So then we're going to take this little guy and we put him over the top here on this side. And push it down. Now it's not going to stay there because it's not set. So in order to get it to set, we want to take our hammer, and I'm facing this so the crystal is on the mat, and set it in place here. I don't have it quite straight, so we're going to have to wiggle it a little bit so it goes a little to the other side here. And I'm doing it down here because I don't want to break the crystal by doing it up on a steel block or something. So I do believe the grommet's on, but I will give it a couple more little strikes to this side because it seems to be on better to the top than onto the bottom. But let's put the other one on first, and then we'll worry about making sure that we have it straight. So then we just push this one. Now these guys are tiny, so they're sort of hard to work with. Push it down into place. Put this down on here, and then now again, it is got better on the top side than the bottom side, probably because the ring's in here. Oops, turn it over. Don't want to accidentally squish our crystal. Okay, so there is our little crystals. I can see that this one is higher than the other one, but it's not too horrible. So then the next thing we want to do, of course, is to get a couple of little tiny jump rings out and hook our dangle onto our loops. Got some little 4mm here, and we want to get 2 of them out. We'll open these up. And hook our dangle onto our ring. fuzzies all over my mat. Gonna have to wipe it down. So there we go. There is our little ribbon lariat. So when you go put this on, you can just give it a little tie so that then it hangs down like so. So here we go. It's very simple, very easy to make. Do you need to put the grommets in? No, I just put them in more as a decorative piece than as anything else, as you can see. And then you just pull it around your neck. And, oops, come on, get out my hair. And then you can just loosely tie the two together. Ring like so. And then you have a nice little ribbon lariat. You can tie this tighter if you wish. Make sure your ribbon is going the right direction so that you can see everything. It's all backwards here. There we go. So there you go. Simple little string lariat. You could tie it all the way up to your neck if you prefer it way up there. I don't, but I mean, because I don't like things that close to my neck, but you could. So, and there's our pretty little dangles. I think this turned out really cute. These are some of the remaining star beads that I did not use in the bracelet the other day, as well as these blue ones I got in a gift pack from SoftFlex, as was the purple and this black bead here. These three, of course, were from Star-Crossed Lovers, as were these purple star beads, and the pretty ribbon. It was what the package was wrapped in. Makes a beautiful little string lariat. So another thing I had thought about was to make a little beaded loop, wire loop between the two to hold them together, and then you could slide it up if you wanted to. Hold it in place rather than tie it. And I could still do that if I chose to do it. But if I do that, we would bead it to a degree, and we'd just wrap the wire, and then do a wire wrap, put some beads on, wire wrap to the other side. So, oops, you're inside your loop. So there we go. Pretty little string lariat. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and this pretty little string lariat was made using our SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit, Star-Crossed Lovers. Bye-bye.